Chicago.
I like
Because we're
it.
interviewing women around Chicago. So, you know,
Okay.
she, like, capital S-H-E.
Hey.
We are here with the wonderful, the beautiful Lindsey Simon. She's got a theme song.
I thought you were about to look up my name for a second. I was like, this is so awkward.
Right. So we were in the car, and I kind of blasted that one
yeah.
day for you, and I thought it was hilarious.
It's a
and I was
perfect theme
like,
song.
this is kind of your theme song now.
I'm into it.
It's your Instagram. So yeah, we're here with Lindsey Simon. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Lindsey, right? Hello, Chicago!
I love how you threw in the name, though. See
Gotcha.
how easy that is?
Subtle
See?
plugs. My name is Lindsey Simon. I am born and raised here on the south side of Chicago.
Beverly.
I know, represent 60655. I am the oldest of 5, so 4 younger brothers. So that then gives me a personality of a dude in the sense of I'm very sarcastic. I have really thick skin, so I think that kind of has transcended then to my Instagram and my, aesthetic, if you will, in that sense. So tall girl, obviously I'm 6 feet tall. I would stand up to show you, but then you would just go on to all the jokes of how's the weather up there and all that.
I don't know that.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
So, no.
You wouldn't know.
Climb on Connors. So tell us a little bit about what you do. So the idea behind this show and the idea behind this is, and you've been in this too, maybe not quite as long, 5 years strong here, but the idea behind this is like we go to all these panels, we see all these women talk on panels, and I love hearing about what women do, but I feel like a lot of these panels have kind of plateaued, and it's kind of the same questions over and over, like how do you uplift women and how did you face adversity in an all-male workplace, and like that's great, but I feel like it's kind of the same thing. Yeah. And so I want to approach women in a different way. Cool. But I also want to interview the women that aren't being interviewed because I also feel like a lot of these panels are the same women. It's like big CEOs and big women who own companies, and nobody's really talking about the women doing all these things like across the board.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about what you do here in Chicago.
Yeah. So I am a social media manager. It's weird saying manager now. Whoop, whoop. For a hospitality group called Dynamic. So I oversee, we have about 11 brands now, all content creation, photography. I joke that I'm the keeper of the influencers. So I kind of taken that. So that's kind of how we met. So, but I'm just in the sense of like I'm Oz behind the curtain of all these 11 brands. So what's really cool is I kind of know the ins and outs of certain bloggers or I know the hospitality food industry and all of that type of stuff. So kind of living the dream from this random position I somehow landed. But it's been phenomenal.
So tell us a few of the brands that Dynamic oversees.
So we have Sienna Tavern, Bombo Bar, Bar Sienna and Prime and Provisions, Barrio, Public House. Those are just like a few.
All right, so speaking of Prime and Provisions, I've been there for brunch. You've been there for brunch. I love a good brunch. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about brunch?
So I never really was like a brunch person, but I was subconsciously a brunch person because I wake up at noon. So it just like happened. But now living in the city and it's like, ew, brunch, yeah. Like I don't mind it because you get lunch and breakfast at the same time. Like I am an avid user of the hashtag Girls Who Eat. So I'm one to eat all year round, every hour of the day. I'm forever hungry. So I am an avid lover of brunch because you get the best of both worlds.
Right, I agree. So would you say it's like one of your favorite meals? If you had to pick, were you like a brunch, lunch, dinner? Like what do you think is like your...
Oh, God.
I'm like a diehard brunch person.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I could eat breakfast all times of day. So for me, brunch is kind of where it's at.
I would go with that. Yeah. Yeah, because of the sense of, like, you can still be eating a cheeseburger at 11 o'clock and it's, like, acceptable as you have, like, a side of, like, pancakes. And it just kind of works. So I go with that.
Favorite brunch dish? Ooh. What are you thinking here?
Oh, Monte Cristo, because you get the sense of a French toast, like, base. You got some ham, you got some cheese, and some turkey. And then drizzle some syrup, maybe some jelly.
Cristo.
Woo! Oh, I'm getting really excited now.
I never even thought about that. I'm kind of a mix of sweet and savory. Like, I think it depends on my mood.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll do, like, a salmon omelet with some cream cheese. But then, like, that French toast is, like...
For sure.
Really where it's at.
Oh, yeah.
So, since you love brunch, you're a brunch connoisseur, where is your favorite place in Chicago to get brunch, if you had to pick one?
For sure. So, there's a place back home. There you have a location in Oak Lawn and in Crestwood. And it's called Stacked. And it's owned by a family friend of ours. We've gone there so often. We're friends with the owners.
Love it.
And they have the most to die for pancakes. It's a stack as tall as like me, and it's strawberry cheesecake, and they're so fresh. And then they have like a Monte Cristo like stack sandwich they call it, but food is fresh every single time you go. You have to wait at least 2 hours, but it's so worth it.
Well, do you wait 2 hours or like,
girl? Do you know me?
So other people got to wait 2 hours. I don't have to wait 2 hours.
Like some days, obviously, because I don't even care. Like, I've sat on the side of the street waiting for my reservation, like in the parking lot, because I want these pancakes. So Stacked, do a subtle plug. They're phenomenal.
Awesome. So would you say you drink at brunch?
It depends. My friends like to make fun of me that I am not one to like be a casual drinker, which I'm not. I know.
I know.
It's either I'm drinking or I'm not drinking. But I have the personality in the sense to where I can go out to brunch with everyone and I still will be sober on the table dancing. You know what I mean? Like there's this, I have debilitating, hard word, hangovers. So those are something where like, if it's like a Sunday, I'm not drinking. Saturday at brunch, sure, have a day later, but I'm not going to work hungover. Done that one too many times, and it was not a proud moment.
Okay. So in terms of drinking, you just said you sometimes drink, but you're either like go hard or go home mentality, right? So either it's like I'm drinking or I'm not. So I'm going to list off a few scenarios of drinking, and I want you to tell me what your go-to drink is for those scenarios. Okay. So the first one, you're going out with your girls. What do you order?
Vodka waters. Those are the new ones. Lemon and lime.
I'm a vodka soda person. Used to do vodka water, but, you know, soda water also has no calories, but you get a little bit of that fizz, so it kind of tastes like you're drinking something. 2 limes, though. Oh. Squeeze the...
Oh, yeah.
You know. Okay, you're going out with your girls. First date.
It depends. I feel like I've been going out a lot that have, like, craft cocktails, so I'll do a cocktail that either from their menu, like a gin or a vodka one. Maybe
gin or vodka?
Yeah, maybe tequila if I'm feeling a little frisky.
What if the date is going bad?
Oh, God.
Like, you have a cocktail, and then the date is just going bad, but you're like, I'm going to stick out this date?
Yeah.
What do you maybe start ordering?
I've only had one of those. Thank God.
Okay.
And it was
then look at you with, like, the perfect dating life, apparently.
It's weird. I mean, obviously, I'm single. My mom said, what do you want for Christmas last night? And I said a boyfriend, so we're good.
Right, because she wants grandkids. So.
Oh, no. Thank you. No, that's when you start ordering waters.
I got your back, Holly.
Got you, boo. Waters. That's when you're like, oh shoot, you finish the one cocktail and they keep ordering and you're like, oh, I'm good with water. That's kind of when they get the hint.
Really? You drink water?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I start like pounding them.
But I don't want to be there. Like I'm already like, you get the ick. Like I get a good ick and I'm like, I would rather be alone. I don't want to be drunk with this person because then Lord knows what will happen. I just like,
get to go home and get drunk and forget that the entire thing happened. But I think I might have had some more bad days than you. So you've only had one. So you're really only experiencing that water moment once or twice. All right, what about, like, when you're going to an event? Like, it's really important that you have to be there and you can drink, but you obviously, like, can't be, like, a little bit too crazy. What do you drink?
Probably rosé. I feel like starting at Dynamic and going to all these events, I never was really a wine drinker. And since then, we have, like, a sommelier, so we've been taught a little bit here and there. So I've definitely become more of a wine drinker, I would say.
Wine?
I'm going to be, like, really classy.
Champagne.
Oh, God, no.
Love it.
One too many bad days with champagne.
No, I'm like 1 or 2 champagnes and I'm done. I really can't because I'm like down the stairs otherwise. All right, and what about when you're feeling like a total badass? Like, doesn't matter if you're on a date, doesn't matter where you're going. Like, what are you drinking when you're like, I'm a fucking badass? Like, you walk in this room and you're like, I'm about to own this room. What are you drinking?
Tequila shots. For sure.
Feel that.
You know? And then if I just want to be really obnoxious and just follow the stereotypical stereotype of being a
really
white girl in River North.
I know.
You know what I'm going to say? A bucket of White Claw. It was...
I have photo evidence of this, too.
That was the best night ever.
I wish I could have, quickly picked it up.
Literally, I was just, dancing with this big old bucket. Oh, it was fabulous. But then you, do, claw tequila, just kind of, maybe we can make that a wrap.
No. Mm-mm. I think Simon says we can pause on that one, but thank you so much. All right, so speaking of badass moments, tequila and apparently White Claw, like, don't try that at home. What do you wear when you're feeling like a badass? Like, what is like you want to own the room, you're going to this event and you're like, cool, I'm about to be a bad bitch. Like, what are you wearing?
Heels, I would say, would be like, because I'm so tall, like if I'm like feeling it, it's going to be a heel. I feel like no matter what, even growing up, people would be like, you're always overdressed. I don't do casual. That's like my motto.
I mean, have we met?
Right. This is why we're friends. It's fine. I don't do casual, so I think you have those outfits where you're like, ooh, I'll wear that. Maybe it's like a little low cut or it's got some fringe or some sequins or something else, but I think what takes me to that like, ooh, I'm going to own it badass is like a higher heel, a wedge or something where I know I'm obviously going to be taller.
And what are you wearing? Ideal situation. Doesn't matter the season. What are you wearing?
Let's say like leather skirt, like nice heels, leather coat draped over.
Right,
like,
it's got to be draped. You can't. It can't actually be on
no. You gotta always just and then like
drape's important, man. It like
they're chic.
They're chic, and also like for me, right, coming from somebody who's like short and curvy, that drape is so essential for me because when I wear a leather coat, I look like a different size.
Right.
So that drape for me is like so important, and that's why I drape so many of my coats and so many of my outfits on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I need to still show off my body and show what I'm wearing.
Absolutely.
And when I'm actually wearing the coat, it makes me look like a different person.
Right. First world probs.
Right.
I love it.
Okay, so leather skirt.
I would say like a leather skirt. Like let's go with this outfit. I like this one. It was like a leather skirt, like multicolored snakeskin button up, like an off purple low bodysuit. Boobs looked good. Makeup looked nice. Hoop earrings I feel like I always got. And then like a nice heel. And I was like, legs are freshly shaved. Like I'm ready to go. So that was a good one.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I like it. Yeah. I'm feeling that. Where did you wear that to?
I wore that.
Recently,
I feel like,
right?
Yeah, recently we went to some karaoke bar or something, but I didn't take a pic in it, so I need to it didn't happen then.
Right, I wasn't there, so
no.
Really like who had a good shot for you.
Hey.
All right, so where does your inspiration come from? I mean, obviously you dress well, you look nice, you look put together. And, everybody always says, like, my inspiration comes from me, which totally valid. But, like, you have to get inspiration from somewhere.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I'm very inquisitive, and I watch other people, like, on the streets and something. I'll see how somebody will style, like the other day, this girl had a pair of Docs on, and I was like, ooh, like, I have that. And then seeing how she styled it. I'm an avid Pinterest user. Like, I have a full follow board, but I don't follow them religiously. I truly feel like I really do kind of just listen to my intuition, or I'm really weird. I've like That's So Raven moments, I swear, where I'm like, that shirt would look really cute with this and that. And then I kind of like piece it together where they come out of nowhere. But I feel like I just kind of bounce around other people's, but genuinely just kind of it's hard to dress my body type too. Like I feel like I know what looks good, and it's definitely like I'm more comfort, and then it just happens to be casual.
So I know the answer to this, but everybody does it. What about blogger-wise?
What do you mean?
Who is your inspiration?
Oh, for sure. My queen, all hail Tezza. I was literally just watching her stories earlier. I think that's my favorite part of Instagram is finding cool-ass women and then noticing and realizing that they're 6 feet tall too, and that it doesn't, to me, it doesn't register how tall she is, but she's so fashionable, and I definitely like follow her and kind of like, wow, it would be amazing to have your closet, or just kind of even see like, oh, you wore this Canadian tuxedo, but you did, half in, half out in the tuck, and you wore like boots that just hit the hem of the pants, and it was just like all little things where she's definitely
does it all while sitting on a dresser, right?
My God. And I'm just like queen.
All right, so moving on to you. This has been you the whole time, but we'll go on to something a little bit different. So I like to give back, and I try to give back. I've done some stuff for nonprofits. I volunteer. I teach some entrepreneurship classes. But I would like to know how you feel like you're impacting. And it doesn't even mean giving back.
Yeah.
Just curious, like, how you feel like you're impacting, even if it's, like, through your Instagram, like, what you're doing.
So, randomly, my mom was at Target, like, 2 weeks ago. Sometimes I have a really weird accent and it comes out. Okay. And she was saying one of my youngest brother's teachers came over and was like, oh, my God, your daughter's so cool. We follow her on Instagram. Like, freaking out my mom. Yeah, one of Nate's teachers. And my mom was like, like, what? Because they still don't understand, which I don't either. I don't consider myself in this field necessarily. And they're like, no, like, she to me is such an inspiration because I've shown her feed to all of the kids in Nate's class in that grade, and I also showed it to the volleyball team, and then I also told all my other teacher friends at another school to follow her and kind of just see, and I was like, wait, why? And in the meantime, I sent her a selfie, and I was like, if they only knew the real me, and, you know, and she's like, this is what we mean, in the sense that you are so authentically, I can't say that, authentic.
It's okay, we'll get there.
Thank you. Words are hard sometimes for me. Authentically me, to where I just don't really care anymore on what people think about me, and I want to keep it real. I never want to become that stereotypical, like, I'm a blogger and I'm on Instagram and my life is all smoke. Like, it's just like my life is smoke and mirrors. Nothing is filtered. I mean, obviously it's filtered, but like, it's not perfect. Like, if I'm having a bad day, or like I got dumped by my boyfriend, or just like real things, like, I'm posting about that and I'm being honest, because I think that's what Instagram is made for, is you're supposed to be real and you're supposed to show that, you know, life isn't always perfect, where I feel like, unfortunately, a lot of it comes across that way. So a lot of these girls are looking up to these people and, you know, they think of them as this Disney princess, where I don't ever want to be that way. So I think subconsciously, just me being me has kind of bled, and random people have followed me and found me, which is amazing. But I kind of owe that to my family, where they have humbled me so much. And that goes into having a younger brother with special needs, like my mom having cancer, and like, shitty things happen, but it just brings you back to reality and just being true to who you are at the end of the day. So from that to like having charity work and working with kids with special needs for a few years, just kind of all curates into this long-bodied soul of me.
I think we can both agree that some people in Chicago need a good humbling moment.
or
some 75.
Or humble pot to the face.
Right, you know, shove it in their face, shove it in their mouth.
It's sad.
So real quick, walk us through what a day looks like for you.
Woo-wee.
So, like a slow day. What does a slow day look like for you? You're in the office.
Yeah. So in the office, I just moved, so I'm in River North, so I'm about a 4-minute walk from work, which is fantastic.
Amazing.
Which compares to my old commute, which was an hour and a half, so thank God. So slow day would be starting off at the office, maybe one photo shoot or two, kind of bounce around to the venues, maybe a meeting, kind of finish up around there 6, and then either, in a perfect world, I would go home, make myself some dinner, and relax on the couch and watch Netflix, but we all know that happens never. So either an event, or maybe dinner with a friend, or just something. Unfortunately, I don't feel like I ever have a chill day. You understand.
Right.
My professors even text me like, do you ever sleep? Like, we're very curious. I'm like, no. So
then take us to a long day. What's a really hard day look like? Short and sweet though.
Okay. Work would be maybe like a few weekends ago, I had 4 meetings back to back, and then I had a phone interview with somebody, then I had a photo shoot, and then once I finished that, I needed a photo right over for the deadline that needed to be met. Once that was over, I had an event, and then another event, and if I was lucky, then go to bed.
Yeah, so I know those long days for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I have them too, but I know what they're like for you. How do those longer days impact you? Like, do you feel like they take a toll on you? Like,
oh, for sure.
Physically, mentally? How do you feel like those affect you?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm in the sense of I burn my candle at both ends, like, to where, like, I'm hitting a wall of, like today, like, I was sitting at my desk, like, why do I want to cry? Because you just forget that even the chill weeks that maybe you have one event or you go out to dinner, those all play a factor. You can hear in my voice, like, I'm exhausted, like, mentally, physically exhausted. And unfortunately, I realized the exhaustion drains my creativity. And I realized that recently that goes hand in hand. And I do love creating content on my Instagram. Like, I do love, being in this platform and I can't even think of words. That's how tired I am. But no, it's exhausting. But you want to keep going, and you're on this hamster wheel, because once you stop,
Right.
then somebody else comes along, or, there's a really cool event and you're like, I'm going to say no. Like we talked about that, of just saying no more. And once you say no more, then you might miss a really cool opportunity. So it's always that what if too. That's kind of like the carrot dangling above your head, which sucks. But at the end of the day, you need to take care of your mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, and I think that's a good message, is telling people that, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, as soon as like overexert myself, I stop posting on Instagram, or I like don't go do that photo shoot that I needed to do, and then I'm behind on content.
Right.
So that leads us to the last thing that we're going to talk about, which is perfect, you actually led me perfectly into what we're talking about. Where do you feel like you are in life now? And not necessarily like I'm a blogger, I'm this, I'm that, but like more so mentally, like where do you feel like you are in life now? Like I'm dating, like let's say like me, I'm single. I'm actually happy I'm single.
Right.
I'm blogging. I own my own social media company. I have interns. So I'm pretty content, just burnt out.
Yeah.
What would you say you are?
I would say I'm definitely content where I am. I think even a year ago, looking at who I am now, are miles and miles of a difference. So I'm definitely I can see that I'm growing. I'm more confident. I definitely, even in the past few months, just in how much I've grown, like life experiences obviously shape you. Single and dating, content is like a word on dating. Like, yes, I am, because schedules, like life sometimes doesn't work itself out. But when you have a mom that's like, hey, how's it going? You're kind of like, all right, my cycle and my clock are like, running its course. Like maybe I should start dating, but I also want to take time for myself. So I think it's this balance. I'm kind of in a balance right now of kind of like, do I focus on myself and do these things, or do I, maybe start dating again? And so it's more, I think I'm at the peak right now where I'm like focusing and like making a list of like check marks on what I want to accomplish and do. But I'd say where I am right now is pretty damn great.
I love that. And so we're taking that, right? And we're saying you have these long days, you're exhausted, but then you have these days where you relax and overall they affect you, but you're still feeling really great. So if you had to tell somebody out there, maybe somebody who's watching this follows you, or maybe they follow me and they are interested in you, what is one piece of advice that you would give them? And not this like blogger bullshit, like I'm on a panel, like, here's my advice to the world. Like something real, something raw, something honest. Like, what is something that you want to say to people? Yeah.
So I would say, honestly, at the end of the day, it's cliche, but I'll get into why, is just like stay true to who you are. And can I swear?
Yeah.
And fuck everybody else. Seriously. Like, I came from a neighborhood where it was all the same people wearing the same hoodies and all of this and that, and none of them were nice. And I was a loner, and I went to high school. Even college, I never fit in. Like, if you don't fit in, like, your time will come. The amount of people that have told me, no, good luck, you'll work in Chicago, and now overnight, like, life is just grand. Like, it's if you work hard, you stay humble, like kick ass, then it truly will work out for you in the end. Like, the amount of shitty things that can happen in life that do happen, but you gotta laugh about it. So if you stay true to yourself, have a sense of humor, and you're humble, like those three things at the end of the day, and if you're fashionable too, like that's always a little icing on that cake,
Love
right?
It. Fashionable is the way to end this. And thank you for coming on Chicago. And we were happy to have you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Don't burn yourself out. Go home and watch Netflix.
Hey, yo.